So this is not yet my annual video talking about my most anticipated games of the next year. I'm still going to do that. This is just a video where I'm going to talk about. You know what? I think we're finally reaching this this console generation stride, and that's what I'm going to go over because I'm going to look at. I think next year is going to be the biggest year for this generation now. Because if you remember, like when last gen started, it was 2013, and we really didn't start getting huge games until about 2015, 2016. So like 2, 3 years into the generation. We're just now 2 years into this generation. So I think we're really going to start kicking into high gear because like if you go back then, I feel like there was really not much those first 2 years. The first big one I feel like was like Bloodborne and maybe Uncharted 4, but like 2014 was one of the weakest years for games. You had Shadow of Mordor won Game of the Year because there wasn't a ton of competition. Like they were still making some big games. So I want to just go over stuff that's coming out next year and stuff that's in development, just to show you how like big these next few years are going to be for this gen. A lot of these I've never heard of, but let's just go month by month. So like obviously, a lot of this stuff was made for Xbox One and PS4, and it's just going to be cross-platform. Personally, I'm not excited for this. I don't have a PS5 at the moment, but I just never was never my thing. It didn't look that interesting to me. But then you got like re-releases of Persona again, but I'm mostly looking for the new stuff. This isn't new, but I'm really hyped for this. Loved the original Dead Space. Was hoping they would make a fourth one. It was sort of Callisto Protocol, which I'm still working through. A little bit disappointing, but the remake looks fantastic. A sequel to Battle for Bikini Bottom. Deliver Us Mars. I love Deliver Us the Moon. Oh, they don't even have the new art up, but that game is great, so looking forward to the sequel. Hogwarts Legacy, of course. Been delayed a bunch, but we'll definitely pick that up. Atomic Heart, when I make my official list, that's going to be very high on the list for most anticipated. You got VR Horizon stuff. Wait, they're re-releasing that? I didn't know that. They're re-releasing the Wii Kirby game, Octopath Traveler 2. Didn't even know this existed until recently. New Rivals of Ether game. What is that? Got the new Frogware Sherlock Holmes game. Re-releasing another Fatal Frame, but like so far this is Skull and Bones. So that game has been in development hell for forever. Finally coming out. That thing they just announced the other day. Very hyped for this. And this. I'm glad I just started getting into Resident Evil last year, so I'm pretty excited. So then you got that was Q1. Q1 is okay, but it's not like massive. But then it gets bigger and bigger, I think, with Q2 and so on and so on. I didn't know they delayed the last gen version of that, even though that was coming out on last gen. Dead Island 2 was originally going to be Q1. That's in May? Okay, but like that's huge deal because Rocksteady hasn't made a game since close to the beginning of last gen. Think about that. Arkham Knight. Almost takes a whole generation for these big studios to make a new game. Like Ghost of Tsushima, Sucker Punch. Their last game was like 2014. They took like the whole generation to make a new game. It's bonkers. Games might be getting too big and too complicated. This will actually make probably my honorable mentions list for next year. Oh, this what? I didn't know that was coming out on Switch. Baldur's Gate 3. So there's a bunch of unscheduled releases. Alan Wake 2, I'm definitely going to stream the first one, finally play that, because I hear nothing but good things. Arc 2, surprising that was not at the Game Awards. Never played the Armored Core games, but that was an interesting reveal. I might play this. It's been a while since I played an AC game, so I might go back to it. This seems to be stuck in limbo. Don't know when that's coming out. Let's see what else we got. A lot of this I'm skipping over because, like, I'll just tell you now, I don't play a lot of, like, JRPGs, and I know there's a ton of them. Some of this is just... I liked that trailer for Crime Boss. Looks kind of like low-budget Vice City. The Dune game is another Dune game I keep forgetting about. Everspace 2, Exoprimal. That looks kind of fun. I would have just preferred a new or a remake of Dino Crisis instead of that. Oh yeah, the Expanse Telltale game. Well, Fallout 4 is getting an update. Wait, I didn't know this was a thing. We're getting Flashback 2. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn looks really cool. Uh, I'm definitely gonna try it out. I didn't realize. Oh, it's by Kepler Interactive, the people that published Scorn. But like when they did show that off, that looked super cool. So I'm definitely gonna try that. Forza Motorsport. When is that ever coming out? The reboot. Front Mission 2 remake. Homeworld 3. It's finally coming out. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game. That's interesting idea for a game. Kerbal Space Program 2. I didn't know that. Lies of P looks cool, even though I'm not into Souls-like games. Again, this is probably not a complete list because this is just Wikipedia, of course. They're remaking Lollipop Chainsaw. I've played a little bit of that, but I haven't played enough to even have an opinion on that. This looks super cool. Return to Moria looks like Minecraft in Moria, so it's like sign me up. The Lords of the Fallen. I have not played the first one. I probably should. Speaking of that, I haven't played the first of that either. I'm gonna stream that, I promise, because I really want to play that when that comes out. Minecraft Legends. I'm vaguely interested in that. Totally forgot Moving Out 2 is happening. Again, I'm going to be going over, like, skipping stuff that you might be interested in. Pikmin 4, not interested in Pikmin, but I'm happy for the people that have waited forever for that. Payday 3 I thought would have happened a long time ago. Like, that should have happened by now. Redfall, we'll see. I just don't want... I made a video about this, like, last year. I don't want Arcane making shooters. I love Arcane. I want them to go back to their roots. Replaced, very hyped for that. Remnant 2, never played Remnant 1, but that looks really cool. I should try the first one, actually. Scathe for console, that looks just like rip off of Doom. I don't care, it looks good. If you're going to rip something off, rip off the best. Stalker 2, that'll definitely go on my list. Starfield, I've not played any BGS games. I know. Crucify me in the comments. I haven't played Skyrim still, or a Fallout game. So I feel like I should do that before I get hyped for that. This is that ever happening? Oh, it's developed by Zynga. I could care less then. Sword Art Online. This is all stuff that doesn't have release dates. Valheim, I want to play that when it comes to console. Yeah, I don't have a PC. I know. I am very excited for this. Warhammer. I don't know anything about Warhammer, but Bolt Gun looks awesome. It looks like a boomer shooter, which I love. That was gone for a long time, but it's still actually happening. So I'll play it. I liked the first season. Do not care about this stuff. This is every year it seems like there's more and more video game adaptations in movies and TV. But let's go up to 2024 and beyond, which just has a list of stuff in development, which is very exciting. Like, the list is long. So I think by the end of this generation, we're going to look back and say this was definitely a better generation than last gen. Because I feel like last gen was not as good as the 360. There's a lot of brand new ideas and new IPs in the 360, not so much last gen. So let's go in development. Like I don't know what. Rivals of Ether 2. I didn't even know that was a thing until like 2 days ago. This list is gonna be big. They're making a Boy and His Blob retro. I didn't know that. Again, there's probably a lot missing on here. This is just Wikipedia. Alone in the Dark. I've never played the original or the bad one from like 10 years ago on 360 or whatever it was. Probably more than that. But this trailer was awesome. It was like H.P. Lovecraft, Resident Evil. Sign me up. Looks great. Hope it doesn't disappoint. Don't know when it's coming out either, of course. AC Codename Red, I'll try just because it's like Japan. We don't know what Codename Hexy is. Avowed. Gonna end up playing anything that goes on Game Pass because it's Game Pass, so I'll give it a try. So definitely gonna try that. This, I'm convinced, you cannot convince me this is ever coming out. This was revealed like over 5 years ago. Absolute radio silence since then. I just think it's gonna disappear and never happen. It's very weird. Wait, isn't the guy that did that Michel Ancel? And wasn't he just at the Game Awards? Or am I thinking of someone else? No, I'm thinking of the guy from that game company. Different guy. That's Genova Chen. That's pretty cool. I didn't know they were doing that. Yeah, Bioshock 4. Was hoping to see that. Didn't get to see it. Braid, you missed your anniversary, dude. It was 2019 and you didn't make your anniversary game. Didn't Choo Choo Charles come out? I thought it just came out. Contraband, still know nothing about that except for that teaser. And then it's Avalanche. Isn't that the same Avalanche that's making Hogwarts Legacy? So that's not going to be out for a long time. Control 2, we'll definitely play it. I loved the first one. I need to replay it and the DLC. Crisis 4, yes. Very excited for that. So all these old, like, dormant IPs are coming back after a long time, which is exciting. Something that we wanted to see last gen that we didn't get a lot of. Death Stranding 2, Why Do You Exist? That trailer, man. Dragon Age 4. I still need to play the first 3. Haven't. That got people very excited because that's like a cult classic. Okay, I didn't know there was a 4th Earthworm Jim coming. ES6. Should I finally play these games? I feel like I should. Literally everybody and their mother has played Skyrim, and I'm sitting here having not played it still. I feel like that's never coming out from Rare. This is made by the people who left Rockstar to make their own studio. Like Leslie Benzies, the guy who designed their maps. Don't know what that's going to be about. Well, it's going to be about everything, but I don't know what that means. New Fatal Fury. Huh. Yeah, and if you couldn't tell, I'm sick, but I still want to make videos. Especially, we're getting to the end of the year, and I want to pump out some more. Front Mission remakes. Gothic remake. That could be cool. Of course, this is obviously GTA 6. That's... Whenever that's announced, that's going to be like most anticipated for like 2+ years. Like Red Dead 2 was. Hades 2, that was a huge surprise at the Game Awards. So is this. This looks pretty cool. Hellboy, Web of Weird. Weird? I don't know. Didn't this come out? Or did this get delayed again? Again, this Wikipedia list is not updated. Like, I think Silksong is out. Or they got delayed. I honestly don't know. This is one of my most anticipated games coming out in the future. Like, because no one knows when it's coming out. But... And what's so funny is when I was playing the Old Blood, I remember saying to myself, they would make a cool Indiana Jones game. And then, boom, it's happening. So, unfortunately, this probably means we aren't getting Wolfenstein 3 for a long time, if ever, because Youngblood did so bad. But I want that story finished. Come on. This is also exciting. Motive making an Iron Man game. Please just steal the flying mechanics from Anthem and do that. It'd be awesome. KH4. They already announced that, but it's going to be a long time. The Last of Us multiplayer is still not out. This game is stuck in development hell, but the idea of it just doesn't sound good. This is actually called The Lords of the Fallen now. Amy Hennig, maybe she'll finally have a game come out. She keeps having them canceled. That's her new game. Midnight Suns is out. Why is this on this list? This is exciting. Insomniac's Wolverine, because we haven't had a good Wolverine game since the one X-Men Origins. Rockstar and why am I blanking on their name? Developers of Control, Remedy, remaking 1 and 2. I will play the originals and stream them and play 3. That's Mass Effect 4, of course. I'm still gonna stream 3. I didn't know they announced a new Metro. Huh. I just downloaded the Exodus DLC because it was on sale. Still gotta play that, and I also want to replay Exodus because it's Xbox Series X enhanced. I can play it in not 1080, 60 FPS now. Oh, didn't know that was getting a sequel. I played that. Outer Worlds 2. That'll happen eventually because they're busy with Avowed. And then maybe New Vegas 2 someday? I don't know. They could do it. They have all the developers now. Perfect Dark. I'll believe it when I see it. I feel like we've known about that forever. Hopefully at E3 we get more. Give me this. Inject this into my veins. It's been way too long since a 007 game. It's been like, I think, 10 years. I think the last one was 007 Legends, which sucked. So, and they got the perfect people to do it. IO Interactive made the Hitman game. So, and the Hitman, I feel like, feels like a Bond game. So, that's exciting. A lot of exciting stuff on here. We're down to R's now. Scars Above looks interesting. Silent Hill 2 remake. Silent Hill F. Why didn't they just remake the first one? I don't understand. Don't know what Townfall is. Skate 4. Again, all these franchises that literally laid dormant for all of last gen. Skate just died for a whole generation. And Indiana Jones games. There hasn't been one of those since the Lego one, and that was 360. So, and the last like non-Lego indie game was the Xbox original. So that's why it's very exciting that that's happening. Pfft, there's so many untitled movies and games for Star Wars that probably none of them will see the light of day. 2 other Respawn games I didn't know about. Didn't know Massive was making one. They're the ones that made The Division. And then Skydance. That's the same one that Amy Hennig. Or no, that's not Amy Hennig's. Or is it? I don't know. Because if you go and look at lists of canceled Star Wars games, it's depressing to see how many have been canceled. State of Decay 3, very excited for that. Eclipse, another one of those. I'll believe it when I see it. For some reason, something tells me that's never going to happen. Cool trailer, though. I just don't care about the High Republic. This, I think, is being made by the people who made Terminator Resistance, and it'll be like a survival horror game, which could be cool. Splinter Cell remake should be awesome. Is that not out already? I think it is, or maybe not. This was just announced the other day. It looks nuts. Doesn't look like Transformers, but I didn't know about this. There's a new Time Splitters, because that could be cool. New Tomb Raider. I feel like that's... I could see E3. We find out more about that. This got delayed, like, what, indefinitely? I don't know. It's another year, another another Warhammer 40k game. There's just endless ones of those. Witcher 4, The Witcher remake. Witchfire looks awesome. When is that coming out? It looks so cool. That'll go on my list of what is unknown status? Yeah, that game. Remember that game? February 2013. That just never happened. Metroid Prime 4. Very hyped for that since I've now played the 2D Metroid games, but I have a Wii U. I think because the Prime trilogy is not out yet. I think I'm going to get them before the Wii U shop closes, which is in a few months. So I'm going to get the trilogy and play those. KOTOR remake is hopefully never happening because the writers behind it are bad. System Shock 3, unfortunately the IP was bought by Tencent. But something that wasn't on this list I think was System Shock remake, which I'm very excited for. Talos Principle 2, that's cool that's happening. But like I said, there's probably a lot more, but it's just a Wikipedia article. So yeah, I think the future is pretty bright for the gaming industry. And this is not even including the probably thousands of indie games that will inevitably come out over this generation, that some hidden gems that will come out that I will love, because some of my favorite games are indie games. And of course, like there's some, I have a list, an ongoing list of a backlog. Some of them were not mentioned here and they're just not out yet. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you are looking forward to on like in the future in terms of games, because like for movies, there's like nothing for movies. I used to do with my sister. I used to do most anticipated games and movies lists, but movies there's just crap right now. So hopefully they get better. So yeah, let me know of all those which ones you're looking forward to, and then before the end of the year, I promise I'm going to make a comprehensive list of my most anticipated games of next year. This was just looking forward like to the whole generation more. So, um, yeah, let me know what yours are. Make a list in the comments. And thank you for watching. And I hope you check out my most anticipated 2023 list that'll be coming soon. So, till next time, see you later.